right? The receptors of discriminative touch, stereognosis, proprioception and weight. Finally, they reach into the primary somatosensory area of cerebral cortex. And somatosensory cortex of postcentral gyrus, relative sizes of cortical area. You can see the thumb and the fingers, but the leg is very small, which means that the lips are very large and the eyes and nose is very small, and which means that the relative size of cortical areas is proportional to the number of sensory receptors, proportional to the sensitivity of each part of the body, can be modified with learning. Learn to read Bailey will have the larger area. First order neuron conduct impulses to brainstem or spinal cord, either spinal or cranial nerves. Okay, I am drawing the sensory input from spinal nerves or the sensory input from the cranial nerves were present in the medulla oblongata, in the brainstem as a whole. Second order neurons conducts impulses from spinal cord or brainstem to thalamus, cross over to opposite side before reaching thalamus, and third order neuron conducts impulses from thalamus to primary somatosensory cortex, that is postcentral gyrus of parietal lobe. And the posterior column, the function is, I already said that, proprioception, vibration, discriminative touch, weight and discrimination, STEREOGNOSIS. Signals travel up spinal cord in posterior column. Fibers cross over in the medulla to become the medial lemniscus pathway, ending in thalamus. Thalamic fibers reach cortex. 2-point touch discrimination. It is the minimum distance at which 2 points of touch can be perceived as separate. You can see 2 sensory neurons, perception of 2-point touch, not as single, measures of distance between receptive fields, and indication of tactile acuity. If the distance between 2 points is less than minimum distance, only 1 point will be felt. Okay, what is the actual concept here? I will tell. This is a receptive field, and receptive field is the area which a neuron receives its impulse. It receives impulse, and this area is known as receptive field, and each neuron have each receptive field. This is the another receptive field of another neuron, and if the points are locates in the different receptive field, then we are able to receive this information as 2 points. But if the 2 points are locates in the same receptive field, we felt as it's come from it felt as a 1 point. Okay, here I am drawing a neuron, the primary sensory neuron, and this neuron cell body and its dendrite, and this is the receptive field of that primary sensory neuron, receptive field of primary afferent neuron. Okay, again I am drawing the axons and the nerve terminals of another primary sensory neuron and the cell body and dendrites, and this is the receptive field of the second primary sensory neuron, receptive field of second primary sensory neuron or primary afferent neuron. So for again I am drawing another neuron and its axon terminals, and it has a specific receptive field. Okay, if the 2 points are locates in the different receptive field, we feel as it's 2 point. If the 2 points are located in the same receptive field, we felt as same 1 point. Okay, second order neurons. I am drawing above the second order neurons and its nerve terminal. And second order neurons, the collection of its receptive field is the whole. I am marked with yellow. The receptive field of second order neuron is the whole area of where the primary sensory neurons locates, which means that secondary neuron order receptive field is greater than primary neuron receptive field. Receptive fields in the thalamus have centers around organization, and cortical fields, where you can see in left picture, are smaller in fingers and larger on the hand and the forearm. It's because of the size of the areas. Okay, stereognosis and lateral motion, we can measure, we can understand the texture, and pressure, we can understand the hardness. By static contact, we can understand the temperature, and unsupported holding, by unsupported holding we can understand the weight. By enclosure, we can understand its global shape or volume, and counter following, and global shape and exact shape we can understood. So if the destruction of the dorsal medial dorsal column, it leads to impairment in stereognosis, or a stereognosis we can find. Okay friends, today's physiology is tomorrow's medicine. Okay, thank you friends, have a nice day, bye.